Welcome to our deep dive, everyone.
Excited to be here.
Today, we're going to be
Yeah.
diving into the world of haiku.
Oh, nice.
And this was inspired by a book that you brought to us called Nagareboshi Cadenti,
That's the one.
which means
Shooting stars.
shooting stars in English,
Yeah.
by Dennys Cambarau.
Yes.
So what drew you to this collection? What made you pick this book out?
Well, I really enjoy the way that Cambarau kind of blends the classic haiku structure with like modern themes. It's like this tension between tradition and like the contemporary world that I
Yeah.
find really interesting.
Yeah, it's all laid out really beautifully, too. It's in both Italian and English.
Yeah, and the prefaces too.
Yeah, the haikus are arranged seasonally. So
I love them.
there's like little prefaces for us to
Totally.
kind of guide us along.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into some of these shooting stars.
Awesome.
I was really struck by this one. A bomb falls among collapsed houses, an old apple tree.
Ooh, yeah, that one really hits hard.
Like, wow.
Yeah, like you see the destruction and the chaos, and then this enduring image of like the apple tree, resilience.
Yeah, exactly.
In the face of devastation.
And it's amazing how Cambarau can evoke such strong emotions in just 3 lines.
Oh, absolutely.
This one really resonated with me, too. We are alone, here, searching in the sky, a kite.
Oh, wow.
It's so simple yet so powerful.
Yeah, it's
just
just that feeling of searching.
That feeling of searching and yearning, and
Yeah.
I could just feel the vastness of the sky.
Absolutely. And, that's where I think the connection to Zen Buddhism comes in, like this idea of being present in the moment, finding beauty in the ordinary. Haiku does that really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cambarau even mentions in his commentary this Japanese philosophy of Fiyu,
Okay.
which is about accepting the constant flow and change in life.
I see.
And this haiku really captures that well, I think. The river flows towards the winter sea. Nothing comes back. Beautiful reflection on impermanence.
Yeah. And did you notice how he uses winter sea there?
Yes.
That's a classic example of kigo.
Right.
It's a seasonal word that grounds the haiku
Yes.
in a specific time. It's like a little doorway into a whole
Okay.
world of imagery and associations.
And this attention to word choice really reminds me of another concept that Cambarau discusses, kireiji, which is the cutting word that creates a pause or shift in the poem.
Yeah.
It's almost like a tiny breath between two thoughts, inviting you to ponder the
It's
canal.
that spark that ignites the imagination.
Yeah.
You're not just reading words on a page.
Right.
You're actively participating in creating meaning.
Yeah, you're like completing the thought in your own mind,
Right.
based on your own experiences and perceptions.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of connecting the dots, Cambarau's explanation of Saijiki was so interesting to me. These are traditional collections of kigo used by haiku poets, passed down through generations. It's like having access to this lexicon of seasonal words, all carefully curated and categorized.
So haiku has its own secret language.
Kind of, yeah. Full of nuanced meanings and layers of symbolism.
Yet it's so accessible.
Right.
You don't have to be a scholar to appreciate
So that
the beauty of a good haiku.
And that's what's so remarkable about haiku. It can be both incredibly simple and incredibly complex at the same time.
Totally.
And, Cambarau's collection really showcases this with haiku that range from the traditional nature themes to, more modern topics like war and technology.
There's one that comes to mind right away.
Yeah.
War in Ukraine, a child for thirst drinks the snow.
Oh, wow.
Such a stark image, so full of heartache.
Yeah, but there's also this incredible resilience there.
Yes.
This primal need for survival.
Wow.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and even in tackling these difficult subjects, Cambarau never loses the essence of haiku, like that ability to convey so much in so few words.
He doesn't shy away from the complexities of the modern world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of capturing essence, Cambarau shares this anecdote about Matsuo Basho,
Okay.
who's considered like one of the haiku masters.
I know Basho.
And it's about his most famous haiku, an old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond splash. Silence again.
Yes, a classic.
I know, right?
It's so simple, yet so evocative.
It's like you're transported to that moment.
Yeah.
You're standing by the edge of the pond.
Totally.
And what I thought was so fascinating was that Cambarau connects this haiku
Yeah.
to the Japanese concept of ma,
Okay.
which is all about emptiness or interval.
I love that. Ma.
So it's not just about the silence or the absence.
Right.
It's about the space between things.
Yeah, the potential that exists in those empty spaces.
So in Baoshi's haiku, that silence before and after the splash is just as important as the splash itself.
Exactly.
It's that contrast that makes the moment so profound.
Right. And, it's this concept of ma that allows us to truly contemplate the meaning of the haiku.
Right.
To let it resonate within us long after we finished reading.
It's like haiku is inviting us to slow down.
Yes.
To pay attention to those spaces between things.
Totally.
To find the meaning in the silence.
And you know what? That's so relevant today because we're constantly bombarded with information and stimulation and noise.
Yeah.
And haiku reminds us to find those pockets of silence, to appreciate the space between the noise.
Yes.
It's in those quiet moments that I think true reflection happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like practice in mindfulness, training our minds to be present and, appreciate the subtle beauty that surrounds us.
And anyone can do it.
Exactly.
My Cambarau emphasizes that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a scholar or a poet to write haiku.
Nope.
It's about tapping into that beginner's mind.
Totally. Approaching it with a sense of curiosity and openness.
Yeah, just giving yourself permission to play, experiment with language, and to see the world through a poet's eye.
I love that.
You might surprise yourself with what you discover along the way.
You mentioned earlier how Cambarau's collection includes haiku that touch on modern themes.
Right.
And I'd love to dig into that a bit more.
Yeah.
How does he manage to incorporate these contemporary issues while still maintaining the essence of haiku?
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like he weaves them in so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Like that one we talked about.
Yeah.
About the war in Ukraine.
Right.
War in Ukraine, a child for thirst drinks the snow. It just hits you right in the gut.
It does.
But, there's also this glimmer of hope there.
Yeah.
That tenacity of the human spirit. It shines through even in the darkest of times.
That's beautifully put.
Thanks.
Like amidst all that suffering
and hardship,
yeah,
there's still this capacity for resilience.
Exactly.
For finding ways to cope and survive.
Throughout his collection, Cambarau finds these moments of unexpected beauty.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the resilience of a child facing war, or in the quiet connection between two strangers. He finds poetry in the most unexpected places.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to see how he bridges that gap between the traditional and the modern.
Right.
Finding meaning and connection in a world that often feels so fractured and chaotic.
Totally.
It speaks to the universality of haiku.
It does.
How this ancient art form can still resonate with us today, regardless of time or place.
It's timeless.
It is timeless.
It reminds us that we all share these fundamental longings.
Hopefully.
For connection, for meaning, for beauty.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Speaking of universality, those Seijiki collections we were talking about?
Yes.
The ones full of those seasonal words specific to Japanese culture. I wonder if other cultures have something similar.
That's a great question.
Like, what if we could explore a Seijiki from a different part of the world?
I love that.
To see how other cultures experience and express the changing seasons.
Imagine diving into like a collection of seasonal words from, say, the Inuit culture.
Right.
Or a rainforest tribe.
Wow.
It'd be like stepping into their world.
Totally.
Seeing the seasons through their eyes.
We could discover how they perceive nature.
Exactly.
What they find beautiful or poignant about each season.
It would add like a whole new layer of meaning
Totally.
On top of the haiku form itself.
And it could spark all sorts of creative possibilities for writing our own haiku.
For sure.
Imagine infusing those cross-cultural insights into our own observations.
Blending different perspectives.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's like haiku becomes this amazing tool.
It does.
For connecting with other cultures.
Yeah.
For finding common ground.
Yeah.
Through shared experiences of nature, beauty, and just the fleeting moments of life.
Beautifully said.
I think this deep dive has really shifted my perspective on haiku.
Yeah.
Like I started out thinking it was just about nature imagery.
Right.
But now I see it as like this whole philosophy.
It is.
This way of seeing the world and finding meaning in the everyday.
And you know what? Maybe our listener out there feels inspired to pick up a pen and try their hand at crafting some haiku.
Totally.
To capture those fleeting moments of beauty.
Yeah.
Those little sparks of insight and share them with the world.
Absolutely. And if you do find yourself writing haiku, We'd love to hear them.
Yes.
Share them on social media, tag us, or send us a message.
We're always eager to see how this art form inspires others.
It's been an absolute pleasure diving into this topic with you today.
Likewise, it's been a joy.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
We started this deep dive talking about shooting stars, these fleeting moments of beauty. And in a way, haiku are kind of like shooting stars themselves.
Oh, I like that.
They're brief, brilliant flashes of insight that illuminate the world around us
Yeah.
and leave us changed in their wake.
That's beautiful.
Haiku have this unique ability
They do.
to capture those ephemeral moments,
Yeah.
make them timeless, give them meaning that resonates long after they've passed.
It's like holding a piece of magic.
Yes!
A reminder that beauty and wonder
So, yeah.
exist all around us if we just take the time to look.
And just like shooting stars inspire awe and wonder,
Yeah.
haiku can spark curiosity,
Totally.
inviting us to explore the world with fresh eyes.
Yes. It's all about cultivating that beginner's mind, that sense of openness and wonder,
Yeah.
and experiencing the world as if for the first time.
And Cambarau really emphasizes the importance of practice
He does.
when it comes to writing haiku.
Practice, practice, practice.
It's not about perfection,
Right.
but about embracing the process,
Yeah.
the journey of discovery that unfolds with each poem.
It's like any art form. The more you practice, the more you refine your craft,
Yeah.
and the more you discover your own unique voice and perspective.
That's encouraging for anyone who wants to explore haiku.
Right.
You don't have to be an expert.
Nope.
Just be willing to experiment, play with language,
Yeah.
and see the world through a poet's eye.
Give yourself permission to be a beginner,
Yeah.
to make mistakes,
Yeah.
to learn and grow.
Mhm.
You might even surprise yourself with what you create.
This deep dive into haiku has been a revelation for me.
Good.
I have a new appreciation for this art form
Awesome.
and a desire to, incorporate it into my life.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
I hope our listener feels the same way.
Yeah.
Haiku is a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it really is. And Cambarau even hints at this really cool way to kind of deepen our understanding of haiku
Okay.
and its connection to different cultures.
Okay.
He talks about exploring saijiki from around the world.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
that's a neat idea.
Imagine diving into a collection of seasonal words
Mm-hmm.
from, say, like the Inuit culture
Right.
or a rainforest tribe.
Wow.
It'd be like stepping into their world.
Yeah.
Seeing the changing seasons through their eyes.
Exactly.
We could discover how they perceive nature,
Total.
what they find beautiful or poignant about each season.
It'd be like a whole nother layer of meaning on top of the haiku form itself.
Totally. And it could spark all sorts of creative possibilities
Yeah.
for writing our own haiku, right?
Absolutely.
Imagine infusing those cross-cultural insights
Yeah.
into our own observations.
Bringing different perspectives together.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's like haiku becomes this amazing tool
It does. It really does.
for connecting with other cultures,
Mm-hmm.
for finding common ground through these shared experiences
All right.
of nature, of beauty, and just the fleeting moments of life.
I love that.
I feel like this deep dive has completely shifted my perspective on haiku.
Oh, yeah.
I started out thinking it was just about, nature imagery,
Yeah,
but now I see it as like this
Mhm.
whole philosophy,
it is.
this way of seeing the world and finding meaning in the everyday.
I think you're right.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe our listener out there
Wow.
feels inspired to pick up a pen and try their hand at crafting some haiku
Maybe.
to capture those fleeting moments of beauty, those
Yeah.
little sparks of insight,
Yeah,
and share them with the world.
exactly.
So if you do find yourself writing haiku,
Mm-hmm.
we would love to hear them.
Yeah.
Share them on social media, tag us,
Send us a message.
send us a message, yeah.
We always love to see how this art form inspires others.
It's been such a pleasure
I'm
diving into this topic with you today.
I've had a great time.
Me too. Until next time,
Until next time.
may your days be filled with moments of haiku-inspired wonder.